The gang. The gang is back. Leroy.
What's going on, everyone? Got some familiar faces. Welcome back, legends. Got some new faces as well, and we've got a whole heap of no faces. Show me your faces, beautiful people. Where is everyone? Come on. Do we need to scan the COVID code here? Yeah, on your Leroy the Rebel. So, guys, we'll give it a couple minutes. Those of you that were in our courses, they'll know the drill. We usually give it a couple minutes at the start of every time we do something like this, just to account for the stragglers coming in. But in saying that, there's also a lot of you guys that have never been on a Zoom with us as well. So I thought I'd best explain that we've had over 100 people register for the event. So usually people are pretty slow and they take a little bit of time coming in. So just be a little bit patient and we'll get started soon. But while we wait, we can always have a chat. So all I ask is, for now, everyone keep their microphones muted. If you do need to chat, there's a little chat feature, a little chat button down the bottom of your screen. You can type us messages in there. We can see all that. And then we can answer any questions you've got. If we do have time at the end of this, we might open up for a bit of an AMA. So if you do want to then unmute your microphones or whatever, you can ask us some questions that way as well. But we'll leave that for the end, provided we've got the time. I would love it if as many of you could put your videos on so that I can see everyone's faces. I love seeing everyone's faces when I'm talking to them. Put your video on or I'm going to kick you out. Yeah. That includes you, Cass. Video.
Oh, I'm trying, eh? I'm trying. Heard me laugh there, didn't you?
Yep. How are you, Sean? Blast from the past, you reckon? It's only been a couple of weeks. You missed me? Yeah. Good on you. Oh, I'll turn the music off for a bit. All right. So before we jump into it head first tonight, I just want to ask, apart from those that I already know the answers from our students, any of the newbies here joining us tonight, any of you guys got experience with charting, reading charts, technical analysis, any understanding at all how any of this magic stuff works? This magic internet money and how to make money from it? No? Yes? No? Can you type it in the chat box for me? For those of you that have got cameras on, you can shake your head or whatnot. Nah, okay, I can see you guys. Those that don't have cameras on, just type for me at least, please. GenCoin, I love that show. Jeez, that's a good show. Start up. So tonight, what we'll do is we're going to give you a bit of an overview on what we think, where we think the market is at the moment, based on Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of the larger market cap cryptos. These are our opinions. So first and foremost, we do have to say this for legal reasons. None of this is financial advice, blah, blah, blah. It is based on our opinions. However, it's also based on our experience and our expertise. So take from it what you will, but this will give you hopefully a little bit of an understanding on where we sit with the market at the moment. The reason we put this together is because there's 54,000 people in our Facebook group and everyone's going, holy shit, what's going on? What's happening? Bitcoin's down 50%. I've just lost 20 grand. Can someone please help me, help me, help me? So the team and I got together and said, let's do a market scan and a bit of a market overview and let you guys know where we think the market is at, where we think it's going to go from here, both short-term and long-term. And hopefully it sort of gives you a bit of an idea of how to understand things a little bit better, but also maybe settle some nerves, if nothing else. So we'll get started. I'll just check to make sure everyone's in. Yeah, Leroy, deja vu, 2017, 2018, pretty much. Nowhere near as bad, though, I reckon. All right. So for those that don't already know me as well, my name's Dave. I'm the director of the Crypto Den, and I've got my awesome team here with me. I've got Cass, Dids, Pete, Ads, Jesse, and I think Skinner's lurking in the background somewhere. Yep, there he is down there. These are the guys that are part of the TCD team that do heaps of work in the background and, you know, in the foreground as well, helping out everyone in the Crypto Den. And this is what we do, guys. We educate people. We teach people how to read markets and how to trade and so on and so on. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. Can everyone see my chart? My Bitcoin chart?
Yep.
Yeah, sweet. Cool. All right. So I'm just going to jump straight into it, everyone. The biggest thing that I'm looking at right now in Facebook groups, and you're all probably seeing this, and I'll draw it for you right now, is this. Who else is seeing this in pretty much every Facebook group you go into?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just going to expand my video here so I can see you guys. Yep. Just going to move my screen over. Give me a second. So that way I'm looking at you straight on.
I am trying to get my video up.
That's all right. So what I'm looking at here is what is called a really big head and shoulders, and that's a topping or bottoming, or known as a reversal pattern in charting. And for those of you that don't know anything at all about how to read these charts, I'm going to make it super, super easy for you to understand. These candles, so these individual bars, are prices going up and down within a time frame. That's all they are. So you can see up here, I'm on a one-day chart. So what each one of these candles represent is a one-day time period. So this is price action. So you can see the right-hand side bar here. That's your value. That's your dollars. And then you've got your time on the bottom bar. So each one of these is time versus value. So that's a one-day candle, which means that during that day, prices started here and it's gotten up to here. Does that make sense to those that don't already know this? Super, super easy. I'm going to make it even easier. Boom. That's a line chart. So line charts are essentially a moving average of those candle charts. So a line chart, you won't see the big wicks and things like that, those long skinny lines like this. See this big line here? Price closed below that, so the line chart will generally get rid of that wick. Everyone understanding that so far? Cool. All right, that's just a quick education. Had to just touch on that so that you could then understand everything else we say tonight. So now that you understand that this is how price is demonstrated or shown on these charts, then that should make it a little bit easier for you to understand where we go from here. So what I'm looking at here is a daily chart that shows, this year's bull run, essentially the whole run up to the very top, and then where we're at now. So my opinion at the moment is, to break it down really simple, is short-term bullish, long-term bearish at the moment. And I'll explain to you why. So we can see this blue line here, this little thin blue line. That's created a level of resistance and support. So when price is coming down, we can see that these big wicks here, price has bounced off that thicker blue line. That shows that it's support, and we're still above that. So that's a weekly level of support. This little thin blue line, it does the same thing. If I zoom in a little bit, we can see here, if I get my little circle tool out, this section, this section, this section, even this section where it's become resistance a little bit. That key level of price, which is around 34,500, that's a key level of support and resistance, depending on which way price is approaching that line from. Everyone following me? So at the moment, we're above that. So on a daily chart, we're above that level of support. Can you guys just keep letting in stragglers?
Yep.
The other big thing that we're looking at here is what we call a change in market structure. And what that means is market structure is where we have something like this. So prices going down, and we've got lower low, lower low, lower high there, lower high there. So what that means is price is trending down, okay? Then when market structure changes and starts doing this, we start seeing higher highs and higher lows. Everyone understanding that so far? Cool. So what we're looking at here is a change in market structure, because we've now just created a higher high here. So what we could see happen is price of Bitcoin come down a little bit, create a higher low, which to me that would confirm very well a change in market structure, and then continue up. And we could continue to then form these higher lows and higher highs. Everyone following me on that? So that's my short-term outlook at the moment. I'm not going to go into like extreme detailed analysis, because not everyone is going to understand it. But another tool we use are Fibonacci's, which is, everyone that did our course will know this is my favorite tool in the world. And what I'm looking at is confluence. Okay, and confluence is basically many different things lining up and converging at the same point, and that's my favorite thing in the world. And what I'm looking at is this Fibonacci level, this 786, also lining up with this green squiggly line, which is called an EMA, an exponential moving average. And those two things lined up with some tops here, so some key levels of resistance. That's three different things there: Fibonacci, EMA, and resistance, telling me that this could be a turning point. So while in the short term we might see some bullish price action do this, it could very well fall out the arse around there. Until we get above this level, I'm bearish. Okay, so we could see some short-term bullish action, which if you're in a current position, it could be an opportunity to get out. If you're not, and you do know how to short, it could be a great opportunity to enter shorts, depending on how you trade. I can't see the chat. My little chat bubble's not showing. Oh, there it is. It's hidden behind it. So what I'm seeing is three what we call ingredients that are showing that this is a very, very key level to keep an eye on. So while price might go up, what you'll see is Facebook and Twitter and everyone get really, really excited. And all of a sudden, everyone's going to the moon again, and we're super pumped, and we love crypto again now because it's going up. We hate it when crypto is going down. But I'll be looking at that level going, I'm very wary of that. And that is where I would be looking at entering shorts or a possible turnaround in the market. And that in itself, on a much larger time frame, would not have created a new market structure. So we can see here that if I draw a trend line, say like that, if we can't break above this level of what's that, 41,300, it's still a lower high. So on the bigger scheme, the bigger time frames, we're still looking at the same market structure that we're currently in, which is down. So it's trending down. If that's the case, I think $20,000 Bitcoin is not an unrealistic expectation. I think it's quite likely, to be honest. And personally, I hope we do go to 20K Bitcoin. It's great buying opportunities. It's great shorting opportunities. There's money to be made as the market goes down, just as much as you can make it as the market's going up. Okay, this is where a lot of people really misunderstand the markets a little bit. You guys probably noticed that in the Facebook group, when we were at 60,000 Bitcoin, everyone kept saying, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. We hit 30,000 and no one's saying buy Bitcoin. No one's saying it. Where did everyone go? It's just halved in price. People are pumped to buy it at 60 grand a piece. You get a 50% discount and no one wants to buy it anymore. It blows my mind. These are the key levels that people should be looking at buying. You don't follow the YouTubers that are saying buy the dip all the way down, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. All right. It's called buy the dip for a reason, not buy a dip, right? You're looking for the bottom. You're looking for the one time where market turns around, right? Buying the dip, it's not going to work. It just won't work if price keeps going down. Everyone in 2018, if you were here in 2018, you'll know this, that buying the dip really doesn't work, does it? And if you held on and you had diamond hands, it took 3 years for your return on investment. Do it smart and you won't be waiting that long. Now, a bullish case for Bitcoin right now would be that this is the bottom, okay? And we can create what's called an inverse head and shoulders. So we do something like this. So we see that little pump up, like I said before, we come back down and then it creates this pattern. So the main levels that I'm watching are the 41,000 and the 31,000. So that $10,000 swing is a really great trading range for people like myself that know what they're doing and know how to trade the market both up and down. Some of the students that are online tonight, I'm not sure if any of you guys have started shorting yet, but that's the trading range that I'm in at the moment. But ultimately, until we break 41,300, I'm still bearish. And if you're an investor, it might not mean that much to you right now because you might be in this for the long haul or the tech or whatever, and you might be looking at cashing out 4, 5, 6 years down the track. That's fine. If you're a trader, and like myself and many others that are doing this on a daily basis as a source of income, you've got to be fluid with the market. You've got to go with the flow. You've got to go with the trend of the market. If trend changes, you've got to change. You can't be biased in any direction. You've just got to be fluid with it. So that's my 2 cents on Bitcoin. Has anyone got any questions for me while we're on Bitcoin at the moment? Just chuck it in the chat box. Have I explained everything okay so far? Is everyone following me? Yeah, I can only see a few heads. Yeah. Yeah, mate, I drew the fib from top to bottom, but I'm not going to get into that right now, for sure. Just remember, fib from top to bottom in a downtrend. Remember that. All right, so what I might do is hand it over to Didsy, and Didsy's going to show you a couple of methods that he's used, or a couple of ways he's used to get into a couple of really good trades lately. And then after that, we'll open it up for some requests. So I'll stop sharing my screen. Over to you, Dids.
Yo, all righty. Let me just jump on. Alrighty, so some of you guys know who I am. I'm the gorilla guy. I'm gonna just chuck my Ethereum chart on. Do we have, how many people on here are actually not from Discord and not our students. Do we have a few people who are not our students? Can you guys type in the chat? I want to see how many kind of new people are in the. What do we got?
You.
Hey,
Andrew, Jennifer, welcome.
Alrighty.
Natalie,
Cool.
Bobby.
Awesome.
Quite a few newbies here.
Give us a chest pump. Yeah. Get into it. Ethereum pumped. Doge, SHIB. All right. So, all right, cool. So there's a few new guys there who probably don't know, aren't going to know a hell of a lot of what we're talking about when we share our charts. So you guys can see this Ethereum chart. Am I sharing? I am sharing. Yep. All right. For one, guys, my eyes are screwed, so I have a black screen. I don't have a white screen. If I have a white screen, I start to see nothing. After about 5 minutes, it all just becomes one big blur. So I make everything as dark, my background as dark as possible, and all my lines and everything as colorful and beautiful as possible, so I can enjoy what I'm looking at. So over here in the course, we teach you guys a lot about the indicators and all that kind of stuff. So you know, a few of you guys know my part of my strategy and how I go about it. So on this chart, you can see right here we have a trade that I got into just a couple of days ago. At the bottom of this line over here. Now, the reason I got into that trade was because I was looking left and looking for more recent areas of support. So I was looking at these wicks over here. I got one big wick here and one big wick here, and I got a big wick there. So this was giving me a decent area of support. So once I've got that decent area of support on the daily, first of all, I always trade on the daily. So I make sure that I can see the bodies of these candles are always above a certain support area and doesn't break below, doesn't break and close below. So after that, I'll always put it on to the 4 hour. And I'll start drawing in what I see. So these circles here are what I draw in to just show, so I can just jump to these charts and I can show myself where those support areas are, and it sticks out more here. We can see at the same time we've got these wicks coming down, a divergence, an oversold area, and then a respect of this support line, this orange support line, which I don't have support in there. I'll put it there now in Pebble. So there you go. So at that point, what I'm looking at is for the candles to start respecting this support area and not dipping below. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. You say 4 4-hour candles, so almost 1 day worth of 4-hour candles that are just respecting that support area. So at that point, I am looking for a trade and a break out of this area here. Now, a lot of you guys know I take what I call safe trades and aggressive trades. This particular trade here was an aggressive trade. It didn't have all my confirmations that I usually go with. It had a few of them, and I could have ticked them all, a lot of them off, but it didn't have everything that I really wanted for it to go to get into the trade. So therefore, my risk was on a little bit. So I decided I would take this trade with a bit more risk factor involved. and it worked out well for me. Okay, so so this is one trade. Once I've got all my confirmations, as you guys know, we talk about ingredients to the cake. So, you know, I had so many ingredients to make that cake and for it to actually break out of or squeeze down between two levels of support and resistance. So here we have a trend line down and we have a support area. It was being squeezed in between these two areas. Usually if that happens and it gets squeezed in between these two areas or two particular areas, who's that?
Hey, Bobby, I just need you to mute your mic, man. Yeah. Sorry, dude, keep going.
Sorry, technical analysis we get easily distracted.
Yeah.
So
Hey, just while Dids is distracted, can any of those that did the course, can you guys spot the pattern that Dids entered off? If you're a pattern trader, can you spot it? So right from his entry point, what pattern did he enter from the very bottom of? Falling wedge, yeah, could be. No, you got in before the big engulfing candle. It's a bull flag. Boom, on ya.
Yeah, little bull flag, Andrew, yeah. So if I go to the 1 hour, you'll be able to see right here. We've got, and you know what, guys? Yeah, it's important to understand when you're trading, it doesn't have to be so uniformed that if it doesn't look like something that you don't get into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to see it for what it is and just say, okay, it's not the perfect bull flag or it's not the perfect head and shoulders. Like Dave showed you a head and shoulders before. You know, the head was like what a lot of people would call a big Bart Simpson head, and believe it or not, they actually call that in the crypto community. And it wasn't the perfect triangle. It doesn't have to be the perfect triangle to be a head and shoulders. It's not going to be that uniformed every single time. And this is why a lot of traders do not get into trades, is because they're waiting for the perfect pattern or the perfect play out before they actually jump in on a trade. So that little bull flag there is basically just a controlled push down and then a break up, right? So we're looking for an impulse move here. So we look for an impulse move. You can see the big green candles over here. We look for an impulse move and then a controlled push down and then a big impulse move back up here. Okay, and this is how the charts work. You can see it over here as well. We've got an impulse move up, a controlled push down, an impulse move up, controlled push down, impulse move up, and then an impulse move down, right? So, and that's how charts work. It works with controlled pushes down or up, and then an impulse move down or up, continuing. So, and that's on the 1 hour. I'll get off the 1 hour.
So, Dids, what that trade that you've entered there, what's your overall percentage on that you've made so far?
That is now at I'll just have a quick squeeze. It is at, it went up to 380%. It's now down to 306%.
Nice.
Okay, so I've already, you can see my TP1 and TP2 over here to the side there in green, here and here. I've taken profit on my first market structure. Who was I talking to the other day? Type guy. What type guy? What's your real name, mate? Type guy. Yes. We've got chats. He's not in there. Dave. Is that you, Dave? Bullshit. All right, cool. Good man. I'll call you Dave from now on. Right, so I was talking to Dave about this the other day. because some of you guys, you send me your charts, you send Dave charts, you send Cassie charts, and the other guys charts, and we tend to look over your charts to kind of give you a little bit more of a confidence boost or whatever you need us to do. Like if you need to do a bit of TA on it ourselves or show you guys our charts, that's what I did with Dave. And this is, I try and keep it as simple as possible. I think he asked me about my TP area, and I've got these 2 TP areas. So it was very similar to his, which I was really impressed by. He had a TP area over here.
TP means take profit, guys, just for those that don't know.
Yes, sorry guys. Yes, take profit, TP1, TP2. So I'm taking profit at one market structure and the second market structure over here, which happens to be 2 double tops, which is pretty good market structure. So I'm still waiting for my TP2, but as I took profit on the first market structure over here, I've moved my stop loss into break even. Okay, so if it goes all the way back down at this point, I'll get stopped out at break even, and if it continues up past my take profit, I'll be able to move my bloody stop loss, or my stop loss into even more profit. So I'll bring my stop loss up to here, and if it comes back down, I'll TP twice at the same area, or I'll take profit up here and down here. Sorry, it gets a bit messy. So so this is how I usually chart. The main thing is getting into the trade, and then the second most important thing is getting out of the trade. This is the 2 things you need to learn: is where do you get in and where do you get out. You get in when support is respected. You get out when you see first and second market structures, or first market structure. You can take out 100% there, or 50%, 50%. But you're looking at these areas here. So for you guys who are new, you can see these areas here are what we call market structure. These areas here are key levels of price action, where price has actually gone to that level and then been stopped by a resistance by sellers who want to sell that particular asset, crypto, whatever. So and in these 2 areas, we've got a fair bit of market structure here and a fair bit of market structure there, right?
I'll just ask real quick, guys, for those that are new with us tonight, would you consider yourselves as an investor mindset versus a trader mindset? What are you aspiring to do? So the main difference is an investor is someone that waits for a good entry. They buy into an asset, and then they might wait 2 years for it to realize its profits. Whereas a trader's mindset is, you're working on a day-to-day basis or a weekly basis to grow your capital, which you can then use to put into your investments, which is what I do. I grow my capital, I reinvest it, I grow it, I reinvest it, rinse and repeat. So that's the difference between investor versus trader. But what would you guys consider yourselves at the moment? Are you an investor? Would you like to be a trader? Would you prefer to be an investor? Where are you at the moment? Natalie you'd like to have the confidence to trade but don't understand enough. Yep. Want to trade but mostly hodl. Yep. So how many of you are forced investors? So what I mean by that is, how many of you got really excited in the crypto hype, bought in, and now you're in the red, price has gone below your buy-in point, and now you're forced to just be an investor?
Shitting yourself.
Anyone? Natalie, yeah. Anyone else got the guts to admit that? Pretty much. Yeah, Sean's holding a few big bags. I know you are, Sean. Jesus. Don't get me started on you, buddy. Thanks, Ben. So heaps of people are in that position at the moment, guys, because like I said at the start of this, everyone's super excited to buy Bitcoin at $60,000. And then price gets to $30,000 and everyone's too scared. $30,000 presented a good buy zone, a really good for investors especially, really good buy zone. But as you know, I think that price ultimately will go a bit lower in the coming months, but I could be wrong. I hope for your sake that I'm wrong. But I'm hedged a little bit too. So I've got my bags that I hold of Bitcoin and ETH. That's it. That's the only coins I invest in for the long run. I don't invest in any other coins whatsoever. However, I'll trade almost everything to grow those investments. 20K entry would be beautiful, Natalie. And I expect to do that. Like if we hit 20K, I will be going heavily into Bitcoin for sure, and along with Ethereum. Ian, when it comes to Wyckoff, to be honest with you, mate, I don't know enough about the Wyckoff trading strategy to comment on that, to be honest. It is something I want to learn more of, but I don't know enough about it to really give you an informed comment on that, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not something that I use to trade. Av's trade room's launching tomorrow, but it's a soft launch, so we're only rolling out trade room for students at the moment. Okay, so sorry, Dids.
That's right.
I think what I might do, if you let me take control of the screen again, just unshare your screen. What I might do, guys, is give you a bit of a rundown on how I personally find trades when I'm looking, because we've only got sort of 20 minutes left of this. So I'll give you a bit of a rundown on my chart, how I go looking for trades, and I'll chart some things up for you live so you can start to get a bit of an understanding of how it works for the trader. Then trade room will be tomorrow night. Then it'll be the evening, won't be morning. I still got too much to do. Everyone see my chart now, can they? My Bitcoin chart? Yeah, cool. Can everyone see this collapsible menu on the right? You can see here there's a whole heap of letters and numbers and all that. All this is, guys, is to really break it down for you, make it easy, is the name of the asset or the ticker, the current price of that asset, and then the percentage, the change in dollar value, and then the percentage change. So I know a lot of people get overwhelmed when they first look at things like TradingView or Binance or exchanges, and they see these colorful numbers. Even when you watch the news and they do the finance sector on the news, has anyone ever watched that and thought, geez, I wish I could understand that shit? That's all they're showing you, is this information. They're showing you the name of the asset, current price, the change in price, and then the percentage change of that price. Super easy to understand now that you know it, right? Tell me I'm wrong. Someone tell me I'm wrong. No one? So what I do is up the top right, and you've got a button that says change in percentage. And I click that a couple times. So for example, if I was shorting, so shorting is essentially me betting that the price is going down, all right, or selling. So let's say I bought into an asset and I'm looking for a place to sell. What I'll do is I'll change my watch list so that it's showing me the coin or the asset that's had the highest move or the biggest pump in the last day or whatever kind of chart you're on. And from there, that's when I'll start looking for key levels. So for an example, if we're on Waves right now, Dids was showing you guys how he finds those key levels, right, of support and resistance. And I can see right here, I'll just get my drawing tool first. See these tops of these candles, the bottoms of these candles, even the wicks of them, they all create a pretty key level there. So what I would be doing is drawing in a line here so that it's easier for me to see. And we can see, 1, 2, 3 levels of convergence there. So what I would be looking at if I'm looking for a short or a sell, I'd be going, well, that's a pretty key level there. It could it could hit that and bounce down. All right, because it's now resistance. Then opposite to that, if I'm looking at longing or if I'm looking at buying, I want to then look at coins that have recently had the biggest dumps, I suppose you could say. So then I start looking for bottoming price action. So this is actually right on a pretty key level right now. So you can see to the left, and as Cass would say, guys, we always look left. If in doubt, look left. This big wick here, it drew a pretty key level of support there, which we're right on now. The next one below that, which we're hoping doesn't hit, is here, right? Now, the reason we hope that one doesn't hit is because in order for a change in market structure to occur, we need to have some higher highs. Okay, so we really need to see, and some high lows. We really need to see this bouncing on the daily. So now if I zoom into a 4-hour chart, we can see that those key levels are being respected. Just here, just here, just here. So it's a pretty important entry point. So what I'd be looking for is if this candle right now, it still has 2 hours left on it. If it closes above this line, then this could be a good entry point to buy in. And that's how we find trades. That's how we look for trades. A lot of people get a little bit confused, and everyone's got their own methods. But I use this as a bit of a fast tracking, a way to expedite, looking for trades. Instead of going through the whole list of every single coin that is on the exchange, I don't have the time for that. So I need to find ways to expedite it, and that's how I do that. So I find in the watch list which coins have had the biggest change, either up or down, because you can trade the market up and down if you know how to short. And then I'll base my decisions from there. And I usually, the top maybe 10 or 20 is usually where you can find some pretty good positions. Once you sort of get to the middle of the list, it kind of reaches a bit of an equilibrium where you're kind of at a point of indecision anyway. So it's not really, you don't really get many good trades down there. But if you were looking at something like this, let's say, for example, this candle did close above that key level, and you wanted to enter a long position as a test, you'd be looking at what's our Fibonacci saying? It'd bounce. Look at that line lines up exactly with the 50% fib. All right, so that's another key level. You'd be looking at doing something like this. Long position. We close there. At least to previous market structure, you might put your stop loss down here, and that might be a quick buy and sell for you. Paul, to answer that question, I don't choose what goes in the watch list. We use a thing called Sandwich, which I'm happy to post a link to you guys after this in Facebook. And Sandwich is a website that we use that basically you download the Binance watch list and upload it directly into your TradingView account, and it does all the work for you. So that's the entire list. So you can see there, Binance futures. It gives you the list for you. So yeah, the link is in our Discord channel as well under the resources section. We do provide a lot of free information for you guys. So if you're not already in the Discord, make sure you get in there. But does this sort of give you guys a bit of for those that don't already know and don't have any clue about this at all, does this give you a bit more of an understanding of how we as traders find those entries and exits using those key levels? So you can see this candle's already starting to go up a little bit. It's already, it might close up here. It might close above that green squiggly line. We have a rule, always wait for the candle to close. And what that means is we wait for the next candle to start. So on this one, you've got 2 hours left. I would not be entering a position whatsoever until that 2 hours is finished, because a lot can happen in 2 hours. It can go up and down 10 times. But that's just a little way of finding a few trades. If we're looking here, so an EMA is essentially, some people will view this as a dynamic support and resistance, which you can see here, it's quite respected in some ways. But more importantly for me as a price action trader, I'm looking at horizontal levels, which is what we're looking at here. And you can see again, price is currently on another key level of support. It's also got support of the EMA. So you could be looking at a long entry for there for BLZ. What else have we got? Band. So Band has sort of already had its run, which I'm seeing on a lot of altcoins at the moment. They've already had their run. Now what you want to do is you want to wait for those pullbacks to happen. And most pullbacks usually come back to, in impulse moves up, they usually come back to that previous market structure. So that it then creates that new market structure bounce. Does everyone understand that? So that's the key level we're looking at now. So I'd be looking at in 2 hours time for this candle to close above this area. That's a nice straight line, isn't it? On your Dave. I'll just make it easier. That's what I'd be hoping to see there. And if we close above there and it creates, say, 2 bull hammers side by side or something, then that's pretty bullish for me, and that could be a good entry point there as well. It's a 50 EMA move. What else have we got here? Phil, same sort of deal. So you're looking at these previous structures as good bouncing points for your price. If they break, then you have to expect it to go back into this trading range. So at the very least, it'll come back to this point and range between those two. However, if it broke below that, I'd be pretty confident that it'll come back down to this bottom blue line, this thicker blue line here. So this is where you're either entering shorts if you're counter trend trading, or actually you wouldn't be counter trend at the moment, you're going with trend. So this is where you'd be looking at shorts, or if you're just buying, it takes patience. And this is where a lot of people go wrong in the trading game, is that they lack patience. I'm actually one of those people, which most of you guys here know. I'm not a very patient man. I'm just not. I like to do things quickly and get shit done, and I have to really force myself to be patient. It's not something that comes easy to me. Dids, on the other hand, is extremely patient, too bloody patient, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And he's quite happy to just sit back and wait. I'll still sit back and wait. I'm just not happy doing it. It's that simple. But what you're looking at here is you've got a pretty clear rejection there from previous price structures, which we can see here, a very, very clear rejection. So until you've got a confirmation of a bounce here, it could always keep going. All right. So this is where patience comes into it. And we teach things like candlestick analysis so that you can identify if that is a bounce just there. So we do teach that sort of stuff, but we're not going to go into that tonight. What else have we got? BAL. See, here's a good example as well. If this level breaks, which it is at the moment, then you start to look at the next structure, which is that previous high, which, just like I've shown you on the other coins, is usually a really good pullback point. If I run my fibs on that as well, let's see what that would bring us back to, that 50% mark again. So again, that's for BAL. This level at $18 is probably a pretty good buying level. Everyone following what I'm throwing? Making sense, is it? A little bit, at least? Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, I guess let's open it up then for the last few minutes and give you guys the opportunity. Who's got some favorite coins that you'd like to see us chart and have a bit of a look at for you guys? We might even throw it over the. Oh, Cass, you don't even have a camera's not working or anything, is it?
Or a mic at this stage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all right.
No, it's not, unfortunately.
All right, ADA. Dids, you were talking about ADA earlier. Do you want to chat up Cardano for him.
Cardano. Cardano.
I'll bring up BNB and I'll have a look at what we're looking at.
That's funny. That's funny. You guys want to see Cardano? That's
Everyone
funny.
loves that coin.
All right, let's check her out.
Let's see if we got the same thing.
Yeah. Alrighty, I shall wipe the page. Keep it nice and clean.
Who said BNB, by the way? I bet you that was Nick, was it? No, it wasn't. It was Alan.
B and B.
Yeah. I'll have a look at BNB and I'll see where we're at with that. Geez, she's had a big drop, eh?
Yeah, she's had a big drop. New market structure. Oh my god, she looks so sexy. It's like, alrighty. So let's find some levels of. So we're at a bit of a level of resistance now as well, I guess. So
A lot of the altcoins are at the moment, I think.
yeah, I'll get another one. Right there. Alrighty. Well, she's definitely broken out and up, in my opinion. IMO. Again, she's squeezed down. She's not looking real strong. I'll say that. There's no impulse moves. And again, guys, this is why I don't always jump in on trades if it isn't showing some kind of strength. You know, I like to see some strength. We don't have much strength in, so off this support area here. So if I put a few circles for you guys to understand why I'm looking at this area here, right? This is an area of support. It's a key area of support that I'm looking at, right? Now, in that particular candle on the 4 hour, that to me isn't a very strong candle. And I'll tell you why, is because I've told a few of you guys that some of the price action I like to look at is either a bull engulf or a bull hammer, a bear engulf or a bear hammer. Now, what we call this is a broken bull hammer, right? So it's got a reasonably large wick to the bottom, a decent body, and then we've got a small wick to the top. It isn't a full bull hammer, right? So it means that there isn't a hell of a lot of strength there in the market. So this could possibly just go sideways. ADA has actually it has actually been squeezed between this support level here and this trend line that's come down. She's broken out. I still wouldn't be jumping in on this until we see this go here and then respect this as support and then up. So I would be waiting for a break of this resistance level. So I'll put that there. I'll put res here for resistance.
Very similar on BNB right now.
Yeah, I think there's a few that are quite similar. So the safest trade, which I would be looking at, is something like that. I wouldn't just be jumping in, right? If I go on the lower time frames, we've got a bit of a break of trend. Okay, so we could take that trend line just from like here, and we're looking at a little bit of it's not really respecting trend at the moment. It's in a kind of a no-go zone for me. So this could possibly come all the way down here and then bounce off, or it could actually just go down. We don't know. I would not trade this at the moment. There's no strength there for me to take that trade, right? What I would like to see, okay, is all right. So over here, you'll always see this happen. You'll see this, you'll see a trend line come down. When it breaks, it always breaks with a nice big candle like that. Now, this is on the 1 hour. I'd like to see that candle up here, breaking through this resistance over here. If I see a nice big strong candle break through that resistance, I know we're going to have a control push down and we're probably going to go up to the next market structure. So we could possibly get, you know, the body of it would be 12.3%, you know, on 10 buy or 20 buy, that's 220%. I would collect that any day of the week. So, so yeah, ADA for me is a bit of a no-go zone at the moment. Not until we see some break of this level here, or a respect of this level, or a break of this level. Okay, so you guys know that I trade a lot of retests. I don't just jump in willy-nilly, blindfolded, bloody, you know, I talk to you guys about driving 200 k's an hour in a car with your binoculars on. It's bloody impossible. You can't do that, right? So this is the same thing. Wait for the retest. Jump in on the retest. Wait for the retest. Jump in on the retest. So whether you're going to short the market down here or you're going to long the market, wait for the retest. You don't need to get in here, right? Because at this point, it could go down or it could go up. So, all right. So AIDA is a no-go zone for me at the moment. Anything else?
My turn. Hand it over.
Your turn. All right. I talk too much, so all right, I'll pass it on. I'm passing it on, stopping my share.
I'll have a quick look at BNB.
Someone give something hard today, bro. Oh, you doing, man? Are you picking your own coin?
No.
Shit.
Someone asked for
Shit.
Shut up, guys. So you guys seen Dids change his chart to a line chart before? The reason he does this is because it's easier to spot those levels of support and resistance without all the noise. So when you first start drawing on a chart, that's the easiest thing to do. Who asked for BNB? Who was that?
Alan.
Alan.
Isn't that the beaver? Alan.
My brother-in-law's named Alan too, so he pops in. So from there, I'll move it back to candles, and then I'll go down to. So at the moment, I'm on a daily chart. No, it's Steve. He says. So I've got my range now that we're between on the daily. Then I'll move down to a 4 hour, and I'll start looking at, say, overall trends. So you might draw in a trend line, something like this, which if I zoom in, you can see here that market structure is still down. So price is still going down. We have not yet created a convincing higher high. Okay, we're equal at the moment, just here. Until we break above that and then retest that, I wouldn't be looking at buying into BNB just yet. Like Dids was saying before, we've got these key areas here of resistance, which you can see have been respected numerous times. I'd be looking for that impulsive move, that breakout from this downtrend, which would then form that higher high, which would be here. And then I'd be looking at a retest and getting in there. And the reason for that is because we've got those key levels of support here. Yes, you are going to miss that initial pump, and everyone gets a little bit excited, and then they get a little bit bummed when they miss that. But most traders miss that, right? People get lucky, they get in on that first pump. That's luck. That's not skill, that's luck. The skill part is recognizing it as a push up and then recognizing it as a higher high and then waiting for that retest to come down as a higher low. That's where your skill comes in as a trader. So like Dids' ABA chart, I'd say BNB is looking at pretty much the same thing, yeah? We want to wait for that first breakout to occur, you're going to be bummed that you missed it. Everyone does. Everyone gets a bit upset. Wait for that control push down. It might form a pattern if you're a pattern trader for a bull flag or a falling wedge. Wait for that retest at that key level and then enter from there is what I'd be doing. So, Alan, that's my opinion on BNB.
Steve. There's Leroy. Steve.
Who wants to go next? Cassie, Pete, you guys want to have a go?
I just want to answer this one. Ian Hazard, when you see BTC dropping, do you change your stash to USD Tether or do you leave in the cold wallet? We'll leave it, mate. It depends how you feel. If you think in your heart of hearts that you think BTC is going to bloody $1 million or whatever, you know, you leave it. If you're going to trade or day trade, then get it out of the cold wallet, put it into a trading account and start trading it. You got to pick one, or you know, you can hold, and we all hold, but then you know you got to be able to figure out how much you're going to hold and how much you're going to trade with, right? You're not going to grab your whole stash, right, as you call it, and put it into a trading account and then put it into Tether and then put it into Bitcoin when it's down and then put it back into Tether when it starts to come back down again. You're never going to pick the tops and bottoms. So some people could have chucked it into Tether when it was at $68,000 Australian, and now they're putting it back into BTC. If they've done that, that's awesome. Like, that's really great, and you know, all the best to them. But that's not really how trading works. You know, it's not that easy. No one knows where the price is going to go. So it could have kept going to 150,000 and you would have pulled out at 60, 68, and then what? You know, it's in Tether doing nothing. So this is why we learn this now, right? You got to be able to understand how to read charts and what to do with your money. It will be too much stress for you to keep taking out so much and then putting it into Tether and then back into BTC and all that kind of stuff. So personally, keep some stashed in a cold wallet or in an account, and then grab some and trade with it. And that's what a lot of traders do.
In saying that,
Yeah, so Stu, you said have a look at AXS. What are you thinking about there? Buying? Selling? Can you go to that chart?
Just to touch on, I'm just touching on Dids' point for now.
Yeah.
Dids made a really good point before, saying, you know, if you don't know what you're looking at, then it's obviously going to be a lot harder for you. However, when you do know what you're looking at, then if you're feeling pretty confident, you can cash it out into USDT. You know, he's not saying that you shouldn't, but I started shorting just after that push there. Okay. And I also scaled out a lot of my Bitcoin position at that same point. And the reason for it, which I want to show you now, is this. So that blue circle is lower than that blue circle. So that whole bull run all the way out, we finally formed a lower low on a daily chart. From there, we formed a lower high. So those two moments is what told me it's time to start scaling out of the position. And for those of you guys that were in our first course that we ran, I think we were in like week 4. You guys might remember Simon. Where's Simon? You guys might remember week 4. We said to you before this peak, didn't we, that Bitcoin's showing some bearish divergences. Remember, there was 3 in a row, and we said it's probably going to go down pretty soon, and it's going to be pretty brutal. We mentioned pretty much at the top here that it was looking pretty shit. So I did scale out a lot, the majority of my holdings just here. But I've also been scaling in down the bottom here because I'm not too scared to buy. If price does go below that, that's fine for an investment standpoint. It's okay because I I ultimately believe that Bitcoin is going to be, six figures in a couple of years from now anyway. So, but you can, if you're not leverage trading and you're spot trading and you're going in and out of positions by selling your actual holdings, then you can go into USDT. But what we generally do as traders is we margin trade. So we're sort of betting that the market's going up or betting that the market's going down. So I just wanted to address that for spot traders. And the difference is spot, you're trading your own coins. Margin or leverage trading, you're borrowing essentially from the exchange. All right. Sorry, Cass, what were you saying? ASX? You're going to chart that one up, are you?
No,
AXS?
no,
Why not?
you're going to.
You can share your screen.
No, all I was going to say is, so I think it was Stu said something about ASX, and all I was going to say is this is why we don't, jump into candles. This is why we don't FOMO into stuff. It's had, 3-4 good candles up. You wait for the pullback, wait for the retest, and go from there.
So again, if we go daily line chart, some key points. I usually do at least 3. Like I try and find 3 key points of previous price action, and then I don't usually like to put any more than three lines on my chart. Then I change it back. Let's go to the 4 hour, have a look. So you're asking about AXS because it's already pumping, aren't you? Is that why you're asking about it?
Yeah, it's done like 12% or something, 13%.
Yeah, so just don't touch it. It's already pumped. You've missed the boat. Don't touch it. The thing that
it's done.
Yeah, it's cooked already. Like there's a good chance here that we're going to see some bearish price action. Let's run a fib.
Yeah, it could keep pumping, but is that something you're willing to risk when it's already pumped?
Exactly right. Like, yeah, your risk to reward ratio on that is going to be really low. I'd be staying out of it. Don't buy into it. And guys, this is one of the biggest rules we have when we teach trading: is never ever buy into a pump. If there's a candle that's already pumping, it's going to the moon, just stay away from it. Wait for it to come back and then get in. Crypto is a 24/7 market, and there's now over 10,000 coins. You got heaps of opportunities to make money here. You're not going to miss it. Just because you miss this one trade, don't FOMO into it. We try and teach the safest ways of trading, and you're going to lose your money if you start FOMOing into these big pumps. Big green candles. I know on mine it's white and black instead of green and red. That's just my personal preference. But yeah, definitely stay away from those big pumps. So I'm glad you brought that up, Cass.
Yeah, it's not worth it. There are so many coins out there to make money on. Don't FOMO in on the ones that are already pumping. It's stupidity.
So we just hit over the hour mark, guys. I'm happy to take a couple more requests if you want to keep going, or we can finish it up here. And we are going to start doing more regular and free market scans for the community. And if you're going to be tuning in a lot, then we're going to progress into more of hunting. So which is kind of what we're doing in our trade room. So we're launching the trade room soon, and basically what the trade room is a community of traders where we all share our charts and our entries and exits together. And the idea behind it is everyone's keeping their finger on the pulse. So if that's something you're interested in, we are going to be doing weekly live market scans, 2 to 3 a week. And then we will move it up to every single day. There's going to be a market scan. And not only that, but you're going to have hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands in the future, of other traders all sharing their charts so that it helps keep everyone's fingers on the pulse. So like I said, I'm happy to do another 15 minutes if you guys are happy. It's up to you if you want to have other charts. Anyone? If you need to go, then by all means, bugger off. It's up to you guys. let's get some requests. Well, scroll back and see what else we got. XRP.
AVAX.
God, who asked for XRP?
AVAX.
All right, Cash, share your screen, mate.
No, that's a question.
What's
Will-
NKN? I've never even heard of that.
yeah, it's a new
What's
one.
what?
NKN.
Dot's a good chart. See, when you, the other thing you're looking for, guys, when you're looking at entering in positions or buying into an asset, you want to look at coins that have got high liquidity. And what that means is coins that are in the top 10 of the market cap, coins that have got millions and millions of dollars being poured into it every single day. Because there's nothing worse. Who here is guilty of this? Who's bought a coin and then realized, it's a shit coin, and then try to sell it, and then there's no one buying it, and then you're stuck holding that shit coin, right?
Everyone.
Yeah, like SHIB. Yeah, so you want coins with liquidity. So when you do hit the sell button, there's someone buying it straight away, right? You're not just selling it and then hoping that someone's going to buy it. You know someone's going to buy it. So you look for high liquid coins, and Dot's one of those coins. So, Pete, do you want to have a run at Dot, mate?
Yeah, I can have a look at it.
Give everyone a bit of variety, I suppose. I haven't looked at Dot recently, actually. I'll have a bit of a look at it while you're doing it. I like trading Dot. ETH is actually my favorite coin to trade. Everyone's got their favorite, I think, but ETH is my favorite to trade.
You got to make me co-host.
Oh, sorry, mate.
BCH used to be my favorite.
Yeah, I remember that. There you go, Pete.
Thank you. So yeah, so first I'll chart on daily, which is what I normally do. There's a level here, but to me it's sort of a more minor level.
Yeah.
I see more down here is the next level. So I might just
I agree with that.
change. But what I do see there is like I guess that's a bit of a demand zone.
Bit of a range.
Yeah, off this whole area here between 1867 to about $13 is a range, which you can see is playing through now. If I go to the 4 hour. Like being a pattern trader, I don't see a lot here at the moment that screams out to me. If anything, we've had a bit of a channel push up. And now we've broken through the trend. So we're coming back to retrace. I chuck fibs on it.
Looks like it wants to come back a bit more, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's pretty much going to come back to, I'd say, about here, which is also a 4 hour support and resistance zone. So this is one of those trades where like I might set an alert somewhere around here and just say,
Graham hates your fib.
too many colors.
I usually get done for too many colors.
I'm partially colorblind, so I have very specific colors in that. Hence why I got blue and red rather than red and green.
I think it's just because you got so many different fib levels.
Yeah. Oh, they all matter.
Death Cross on the daily, was it? Is that what someone's brought up? Paul saying Death Cross on the daily.
Yeah, it looks like it's just about to. Oh, it just has, yeah. I'd keep an eye on that, but I'm not too concerned of it because
Yeah, I'd take
it's
that.
a delayed reaction. So that Death Cross is pretty much confirming that this has dropped down here. Like we've seen the same on BTC. It's had a def cross, but we've already had the major dump before it. Like it just means it's now in a bear trend, but plenty of times you'll see that reverse again in the next couple of days. So
Could do
all
it.
that tells me is that I'll be wary if I'm doing longs, because we're now getting into the sort of counter trending range. Like on the daily, DOT's now in a bear market. So while I normally do like to long, I'd be looking at shorts. So this actually would have been a good opportunity if you're watching it earlier.
Yeah, I wish I got into that.
But now it's too late.
So Pete,
Yep.
can you have a look at LTC?
I can.
You see the rising wedge?
I reckon Cash should share a chart.
Pete would do it.
I see it on the daily straight away.
240, rising wedge, up against the resistance.
Just
So overall,
Evening star, is that
a lot of these
what it's
coins
called?
are showing room for movement to the upside, but not a lot of room.
yeah.
So, like I said at the very start of this, we could see a very short-term pump up, but everyone will get excited by it. But it could just be one great big bear trap before the bigger dump comes into it.
MACD is about to cross.
I'd just be very, very careful at the moment.
Yeah, hence why I'm not trading at the moment. I'm out. I'm watching, waiting, patience.
Yeah,
Hate
make
that word.
across. It's sort of in the overboard area. On CC, it's just come back from the overboard area, so I'd keep an eye on this one too. I'd expect it to probably do something like that. So I might break down, come back, retest the 50 EMA and the trend line, and then continue to head down.
Yeah. We could go up and do a double top on resistance and then head back down. Who knows?
Yeah, I like cash. I'm a patterns trader, so I normally see the patterns before I see the support and resistance.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the second I opened this chart, I saw that wedge straight away.
I didn't.
I did.
Stupid words.
Yeah.
Hey, cut it out. I actually have to put my support and resistance on my charts too before I share them.
Yeah, well, they all work together. You shouldn't just be
I do.
using one or the other.
No, but like you, Pete, it's what I see first. You know, I see the patterns.
I see patterns and trends just jump out to me. And
Yeah.
resistance sort of fills the gaps.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a resistance level up there, support down below. We'll see what happens.
That's another one to keep an eye on.
So, anyone got any questions from tonight, guys?
Stop my share.
What about some of the newbies that are joining us for the first time? You guys got any questions? Anything you'd like us to explain a little better, or
Look at,
probably
don't be
take
shy.
as much time as we can? Yeah, there's heaps to know, Natalie, but like once you start learning it, you realize pretty quickly that it's very, very learnable, and it's one of those things where if you're interested in it, it's actually quite easy to learn, and you'll pick up certain things better than you'll pick up others. But it's really not a hard skill to learn. So, can these skills replace my day job? Of course they can. Anything can.
For sure.
What makes a coin your favorite? Just getting to know it. Yeah, that's an interesting question, Paul. Like I said, my favorite coin to trade is Ethereum. And when you trade something for long enough, you start to realize that some coins kind of have a personality. I know that sounds weird to say, like even saying it out loud for myself sounds stupid. But they do. Some coins will react the same way over and over again, and it'll be different to other coins. So I really like trading ETH because ETH kind of has bigger moves. It has the same moves as Bitcoin, but they're usually bigger. So, for example, if Bitcoin finds a good level of support and decides to have a big pump, ETH has usually found that same level, but it has an even bigger pump. So I find that the personality of Ethereum is more volatile in a way, but it also still very much respects the technical analysis of it. So you get some coins like fucking XRP that are extremely volatile, but they respect zero technical analysis, very, very little TA. They're just pump and dumps and, scam wicks everywhere, and they're just rubbish, right? Whereas Ethereum, for me, it respects TA, but you've got the joy of the volatility that comes with it. So I tend to make more off Ethereum than what I do when I'm trading that over Bitcoin, for example. That's
You've just got to treat her nice.
Yeah, it's gotta be nice. It's smoochy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, some people get emotional attachments to the project. So, people, you've got Ethereum maximalists, right? That they're hardcore ETH fans. They love Ethereum. Ethereum is the best technology in the world, and it's got.
They buy the t-shirts. They buy the hats.
Yeah. It's got
odd.
smart contracts and DeFi, and it's doing this, it's doing that. I love ETH. It's so good. That's not us. That's not me. I don't give two shits.
And if you are that person, we actually find you weird.
Yeah.
You're weird. Like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah, exactly. When you were saying that, Dids, I thought you're saying that in a TCD shirt and hat. Like,
that's not weird. That's an educated decision to wear that hat.
But we teach people not to invest on fundamentals in crypto because crypto is not there yet. All right, like the stock market, you can invest in the fundamentals of a company, and you base your information on their quarterlies, what they're doing on a fundamental level, like what's their product, what's their service, what's their revenue model like. You base your buying information on what the company is actually doing on a fundamental level. Whereas in crypto, Cardano is a really good example of this, and it really annoys me. What has Cardano done between now and 2017?
nothing.
Fucking nothing.
Something about Africa I've seen.
But not many altcoins, especially, have actually done a damn thing that they've promised they were going to do 3 years ago. It's all speculation. It's all promises. It's all garbage. So we don't invest on a fundamental level. We teach people to trade based on pure price action, based on fact, numbers, figures. You can't be confused or misconstrued. It's pure fact. Whereas fundamentals is all speculation. It's all garbage. So those of you that are like, oh my God, I love Dot's amazing, Polkadot, have my babies. We find you weird.
Yeah, that is odd. Yeah.
Weird.
It's really weird, like SafeMoon. I think no one knows the guy that actually created SafeMoon, and everyone's kind of like, oh my God, SafeMoon. It's just I'm not too sure what to say. There's like over 9,000 cryptocurrencies, and they've picked SafeMoon.
Yeah,
Like it has absolutely
brilliant supply.
Bitcoin's been there for 10 years, and SafeMoon's the one. It's like that's so I find that really odd. So
I don't get to do
no.
them.
So
any other questions, guys, before we call it a night? Leroy, no, I don't do fundamental analysis, man. Not at all.
No, we're going to get someone else to do that potentially. I remember that. Bill,
one point, yeah.
I can't give you any tax advice, Shane, because I'm not an accountant. So even my accountant, struggles to give me tax advice on crypto, so I definitely won't be attempting that. All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Like I said, we are going to do this more often, and probably at least once a fortnight, maybe once a week. We'll definitely jump on and try to give you guys a bit of an overview and share our time with you and let you know where we're at. I think the overall consensus at the moment from all the charts shared by myself and the other guys on both Bitcoin and alt charts is that we could see a very temporary pump up, followed by a very brutal dump afterwards. Just remember, you've got to be fluid in the market. So if the market is showing us that, okay, great, we've had this big pump up, but structure's still very, very strong, it could still continue up and create higher highs and all-time highs even. But if we do have a pump up and then we see the market structure starting to change lower, then that's when we look at expecting those dumps to come in. So you see it a lot in Facebook groups. Oh yeah, it could go up, could go down. You're a genius. The people that say that are absolute idiots, because that's what traders do. They assess the market. The market can go up, it can go down. It doesn't matter if it's crypto, forex, or stocks. And then they base their decisions on what price is doing. And it can always go up and it can always go down, and it will always do both of those things. You just need to know how to assess what you're looking at so you can then make your decisions based on that assessment.
It comes down to probabilities and possibilities.
Exactly right.
Right. So it's this is the probable outcome, and this is what could possibly happen.
Yeah.
So you kind of run with that.
And if you meet anyone that says that to you in person, punch them in the face. For me.
Yeah. Don't really.
They really annoy me.
Yeah. But yeah. So if there's any new people. If there's anyone new out there that wants to have a look at the course will be probably starting on, I think, the 1st of August. So pushing it back a bit. If you guys that have already done the course, stay in Discord and do the grind. Some of you guys are probably finding it a bit hard at the moment because, the trend's up, the trend's down. It's kind of changing as you guys are learning. Just grind. Like, you've got to get into the Discord and continuously and consistently put your charts in so we and the other students and previous and past students can actually have a look, and we can all kind of communicate through Discord. This is what it's all about. It's about having a community where you guys can all discuss. Some of you guys are just kind of in there, and then you get out, and then a week later or 2 weeks later you get in. You've got to kind of make it consistent. Every single day, do 1 or 2 charts. Even if you can't do 10 charts, just get in there for 5-10 minutes a day and just do that grind. I can guarantee you it will help you. If you walk away from it for 2 weeks and then come back for a day and then go away for another 2 weeks, then come back for a day, you'll just lose that momentum, right? So make sure the ball keeps moving and just do the grind. It's a bit shit at the start, but it does get a lot easier. You will start to understand the market a lot more if you're kind of consistently getting into it.
100%.
So that's all.
And for those that do want to check us out, I've just posted a link in the chat as well, so you can have a bit of a look at that if you like. So that being said, thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll catch you again in probably a couple of weeks. And if you're interested, we might be putting together a bit of an info session later this week or the start of next week on what we're doing in TCD, just to share that info with you guys as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But as for market overviews and market scans, we'll definitely do some more of these. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and we'll jump back on and do it again. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night, and we'll be seeing you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
See yous. Have a goodie.
Hey, dudes.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't talk about it, so he can't do it.